Hey everyone, welcome to God, what are we calling this series now? Driving Dépor forward, formally taking Tarazona up. In fact, speaking of Tarazona, should we have a little bit of a look at how they're doing? So they sacked their manager and they stabilized, and they're sort of mid-table mediocrity. Iglesias is having a really good season though. Um, well, keep an eye on him. But doesn't look like Romaric's doing as well as he was under us. Let's have a look at the squad. Um, where is he? Are we doing it by position? Romaric 6 goals only. Jack McNichol's got 7 goals though. Breakout season for him, and that's good to see. And they've made a few sort of decent-ish signings, but what can you do? But anyway, back to us, back to our performance in the league. Let's have a look. So we're top with a game in hand. We've been playing well, some slightly frustrating results, which I'll take you through. But just before that, let's look at the transfers because you join us in New Year 2028. So who have we got in? Well, I suppose I'll start with the outs. We've loaned out Bilbao to get a little bit of experience. He's a kind of young winger. And Guerrero has left us. He's just losing pace all the time, 31-year-old fullback. And as you saw in the last game, he was making too many mistakes for my liking. So we got in Coney de Winter on loan. We're just covering his wages, and we could maybe approach him, to sign him in the future. But pretty solid fullback. We tend to play with the slightly more conservative fullback on the right-hand side, and he suits this really well. Great height, jumping reach, so an added danger from corners, which is great. And then Veliz, I don't quite know how to pronounce this name, but this is a striker who we've got on an interesting loan deal. So he looks to me like a really good all-round striker. The only thing he's really missing is pace. He hasn't started very well. He only had one start. But if I take you to is it the contract details? We have an option to buy this guy for 3.5 million, which I think is pretty good for a sort of striker of this nature, these kind of stats. And it's an option, so we don't have to do it, but it's going to be really interesting to see how he fares. We're going to get to trial him. He's a good La Liga 2 player, great in the big matches and fairly consistent. So that's going to be really interesting. But he has lost his place to Ferry, and maybe the thing that's going to come of this is Ferry is going to, it's going to drive him forward, really motivate him to do well. So, other than that, the last time we were together was the frustrating 1-1 draw at Sporting, and we almost had another frustrating match straight afterwards where we missed an early penalty, but I've got a sumptuous volley coming up from our backup striker, Ndor. Adil, I think, chips a ball through, and how about that for a volley to break the deadlock? Absolutely fantastic stuff. We then narrowly lost against Osasuna. I'll just show you our goal. Again, if you look at the XG, we were so close here. Osasuna are in the top league. They're in La Liga, so this was the Copa del Rey match, and we didn't do ourselves justice in this one, frustratingly. Ferry with a towering header, but they scored a penalty and an early goal, and we were pretty frustrated by that. But we came back in the next match, bossing the XG here, and Ndor again doing really well in this game. He's been kind of rotated in a few times, but look at this for a header. Bong! Bit of head tennis in their box there, and he's happy with that. I think he gets another from a corner, does he? And he was injured at this point as well, which is unfortunate. And the player we've just sold, um, he scored a really good free kick, so that was cool. I'm not going to show you the friendly, but in our last game, we won 3-0. They got a player sent off, so we had a really nice, easy end to the game here. And Ferry, I don't know whether he has bucked his ideas up because he's got competition now, but great finish across the keeper here into the bottom corner. We had a few injuries in this match, and actually our reserve wingers have done really well. And Adley, who scores a free kick there, was playing in a more central position, which is kind of like the change of position I did with Iglesias not too long ago, as the same combination for the first goal comes up trumps again. So let's progress into the next match then. And we're playing a slightly more direct team. So let's have a think about who we're going to play. Suarez, De Winter, Jens, Hamilton, Alcedo. That picks itself. Midfield picks itself apart from Stolback. So who have I got anyone back from injury? Cordinovis isn't quite back yet. So what I will do is put Adley there, and then because Meyer or Mella, I think it's Meyer, isn't it, with a Spanish surname, he's going to play there. And anyone else back from injury? Not particularly. And we are going to go with that. We will actually put Ferry on because he's been doing so well for us, to be fair to the lad. So let's progress into the match. And we've got a couple of games now against teams we should beat. So I'm going to try and I'm just going to say pick up from the last match, and it's the midfielders and Mr. Ferry himself who want to perform. And there we go, we're into the match, away from home. Let's see how Adley can do in this more central position. Maybe something we'll persevere with, because he does have better finishing than Cordinovis. But in saying that, Cordinovis is our highest rated player in terms of his average rating. So I shouldn't be too quick to drop him, should I really? Ferry, our target man, holding up the play well. Juan Maria, our left back, has started to have a good run of form. So we'll see if he can get an assist in this match. Hamilton also developing well. He's our on loan ball playing centre back, but he has improved in a few stats, which is really good to see. And it's been a bit of an experiment to have such a ball playing defender who maybe has better attacking stats than defending, but something that is quite nice in these kind of games where we are expected to win. Every so often he pings a ball over the top if they're playing a high line. We're building out patiently here. Folha, lovely ball over the top, and this is where I said Adley's finishing is going to come into play, and I have the feeling if that was on his left foot, that would have been in. In fact, does he have a dominant foot? Yes, he is very left-footed, so I might try and tutor him to have some of the traits around that, moves ball onto left foot and stuff like that. But we seem to be playing well early in this match. And Adley always seems to win headers, even though he does not have the stats to do so. Really interesting. De Winter here, good strength to hold the ball up in the kind of advanced position. We like to tuck him inside slightly. It looks like he's going to... No, he gets out jumped now, and actually it's Silver on the run, so... But he does get back well. That's good. That's what we like to see. Patient play here from Deportivo, and it's Ferry through on goal here. Squares it to Adley. Oh, and he hits the bar. So unfortunate. I'm actually just going to tell Foha to not get a second yellow. I'm going to tell him to ease off tackle slightly here. And we are going to encourage the lads here because we have started well, even though we haven't scored. Alonso dominating presence at the base of our midfield. Juan Maria driving down the left-hand side. Hopefully he can get to the byline. It's an interesting ball. Gomez cuts in, and their goalkeeper's pretty composed just to pluck that out of the air. They have a set piece now. And looks like they knock it down, but we're on the counter-attack now. Can Adley spread the play? Through Ferry he can. Diego Gomez, good dribbling. But we've kind of just settled on keeping the ball here. Adley threw a ball to Ferry, and it's a good block. Adley also on a yellow card now, and they win a front post header. In fact, quite a lot of we've got 3 players on yellows, which is a little bit worrying. Juan Maria, there's a through ball there on the wing. I think we're being a bit too patient here, but we'll see if it comes to fruition. Oh, it's a really terrible ball from Alonso. They're on the counter attack now. Our fullback can't quite. Oh, I was going to say he can't quite make up the space, but he does, and Ferry's there to protect the ball as he always does. It's just an awfully long highlight, isn't it? And there we go. Adley in the kind of position we want him to be in. He cuts back on his left. Oh, and it's an awful finish from Maya. I'll tell Adley now to ease off tackles. We won't tell that of our defenders because we do want them to defend the box. We'll see what happens here. Gomez almost winning the press there, but Jens with a careful header down. It's a lovely ball out to the wing for Diego Gomez to cut back. Ferry! That has to go in from the big man. It really does. He's got good heading ability. Disappointing. And they've now had 2 shots on target, worryingly. But Alonso with a good header to retain play. Good ball to Adley. I'd like him to cut inside and cross this. Good hold-up play. Oh, and it's a really good finish from Diego Gomez. Maybe we'll have to keep Adley in this position. But he kind of picks the ball up in these areas. He holds it up really well. And looks like their player kind of obscures the keeper's view there, doesn't he? Set piece opportunity here. It's headed clear, but Hamilton picks it up as he so often does, and hope this gets spread out wide. It does eventually. We're a little bit narrow, aren't we? It gets whipped in. Oh, and it's just over from Ferry. And we've got lots of players on yellow cards, which is unfortunate. Keep getting the shots away, lads. That's what we'll tell them. Oh, Diego Gomez pinches the ball early in the first half. Can he whip it in? He can. Oh, it's just inches away from Ferry's control there. I think we'll make some subs after this just to protect against some of the yellow cards here. Can we win this header? Important header there. Oh, it comes crashing off the bar from Diego Gomez. Buoyed by that goal. Confidence high, but we're going to have to do some stuff about this. So Serrano definitely comes on from Alonso. Adley comes off for Storback. And we don't really have anyone else to bring on. I'm going to bring on Endor. It's not really his position, to be honest, but we will have him as an inside forward at least on attack because his passing isn't that great. And yeah, we're just going to have to leave it at that. And our sort of star loney striker hasn't even managed to get on the pitch yet, but we'll give Ferry another 10 minutes and then we'll kind of go a little bit less direct. Looks like they've got the turnover here. Can we win this header? Serrano doesn't quite have the aerial ability, but Storback, our young Scandinavian midfielder, wins the ball. Mayer drive in on the wing. It's in, and it's a penalty. We have had awful luck from penalties so far. So I don't know who's going to take this. It's going to be Jens. Dear me, I don't expect this to go in, to be honest. Oh, that's the first in two or three penalties that we've scored. So I think now we can bring Ferry off and go a little bit less direct to keep the ball. So we'll bring on this guy. He's going to be a deep lying forward on attack, and we're not going to whip those balls in quite so readily. Um, yeah, we'll see how this new online striker does with the £3.5 million option on him. I think he's got to really score in a game like this, hasn't he, to warrant us buying him, especially in a division higher. Juan Maria driving forward, but we're being patient in our play here. Good through ball to Storback, and that sums up his time with us. Great run though. Finish wasn't quite there, was it? That's a good ball from them, but it's a save by Suarez. Just signed a new contract with us as well. And looks like this game is petering out, which we don't really mind, to be honest. But that's not a great ball. Oh, and it's a save from the keeper. And they might get one final chance here. And that looks like all she wrote. Good 2-0 away victory. And our on loan fullback heads it calmly back to the keeper. And there we go. We get the win. So let's have a look at the league table. We'll say, well done, lads. That was a good win for us. And we'll look at the league table now. And yeah, we're top by 4 points. The biggest kind of difference in points we've had all season. And we really got to see it out from here and just win the league. So thanks for tuning in, guys. And I'll see you in the next one.